Oh, salvaging heater hoses, some other things. That's from S10. I just don't happen to have any 5/8 on hand. Well, we're going to steal this one. For now, I might change it later. It just needs a straight piece like that one. Oh, forgot my hose clamp. Oh, I would have been mad then. Took me a while to get the right fittings for this size. They come in 5/8 and 3/4, and I need all 5/8 for this setup. The heater core is 5/8. But I finally find them in the junk pile. Come here, you! Always right underneath. I got the fuel feed line put on loosely because it was dripping and I got tired of it dripping. But I got to sort out this mess of wires. So one of the things I noticed here after I put this together, I POR 15'd all this because it was starting to get a little flimsy. Well, the weight of the battery bouncing around out here doing stupid stuff, the old rotted bracket right here kind of let go. And again, this is a fiberglass tub, so the fiberglass wall isn't as stiff as the factory one. So the weight of the battery is doing some funky stuff back here. I think I need to at least fix this. I got an old chunk of flat stock here. I think I'm just gonna do one of these deals. Bend that around and weld it on the bottom and fix where it's rotted out. Gonna put that in there. Use this as a brake. Where's my Persuadatron? Doesn't need to be quite a 90 just yet, but that'll work. Yeah, we got a little bit of rot there. It's only held on by about, well, after you take the cracks and everything out, about 1/8 of an inch right here. Man, it's so soft and flimsy now, it's bending as I touch it. That's a little more solid. That ought to stiffen things up a little bit. I think I might have to put a little bend in it though. Now I think I'm going to connect here to a couple of spots just to stiffen all this up because even that's all rotted. You can see the movement there. There's a big crack that emerged as I was banging on things. Something like that should do it. Well, it survived the drop test. There's our hastily patched together battery tray. I want to let it cool down a little. It ain't pretty, but it'll do. Hold the battery in. Alright, here's the battery. We just took out of it. Way more solid. Well, I got my throttle bracket basically assembled what I need to use. So with that style of throttle cable that the Jeep uses, you use a round end and that just kind of pops in here once you got it tight. And then this is for the 700R4 kickdown cable, goes in there. That just goes on the 2 bolts here, or in my case studs. Something like that. Clears all the throttle. So yeah. It would have been easier to do all these nuts as I'd done that before. I bolted the thing to the carburetor. If I had the cash, I'd be putting a sniper EFI on this thing. or a Fit Tech or one of those style of EFIs. Carbs are fine, but this is for my kid, and I want it to start in cold weather easier than having to mess with chokes and all the rest of it. But I don't have $2,000 to spend on this. Do this without smacking my head. Just got the starter hanging off of one bolt right now. There we go. Starter wire. Gotta splice that in. Because of course the Ford style starter that was on the Jeep and the Chevy style are completely different. That built-in solenoid versus a solenoid mounted on a fender. So there's a bit of rewiring here, nothing significant. My transmission cooling lines just put on loose. I think I'm going to run them up away from the headers, something like that. Okay, so I'm just getting around to trying to sort out my pinion angles here, and as you can see, that's going to be one heck of a drive shaft angle. This is, of course, obviously lifted up. At ride height, this doesn't drop a whole lot. The vehicle's pretty light. So I'm safe to ballpark it like it is. I got 5 degrees up here, 10 degrees up here. That's not ideal. So I'm going to have to pull the shims out of here that I had set for the old setup when this transfer case was down 3 inches lower. So, yeah, gotta undo some bolts and get rid of some shims. I just finished measuring up the front. I was doing the same thing up there, and it's the same problem. I had 2-degree wedges in it before, and I'm going to need 6s, I think, just to get it to a more manageable. The front's not as bad because typically you're not driving around on 4-wheel drive at high speed, and that's when your vibrations occur. But the more angle you have on it, that's not right. You're putting a lot more strain on the drive shaft, and that's when you need your 4-wheel drive, is when you're putting strain on it. So yeah, you want them closer. All right, pinion angles are set for the back. So 2 degrees of angle separation on the pinions. It'll do. Okay, folks. Well, as you can see, the mighty 305 is in. The temperature setting unit's not in it yet. But I got the water pump on, the power steering, the alternator. They're all hooked up. Spark plugs are on, distributor's wired. Batteries on, starters on. I hooked up the gas line real quick. I don't even have a filter on it yet. I just brought a rubber line from the pump up. I just want to hear this thing start. All right, you can see the headers are cold here. Top temperature is the temperature in the shop. It's 8.7. Those headers are 9.7 degrees Celsius. So this has not run yet. Now we got no coolant or nothing on this thing. It's got oil in it. It's got power steering fluid and oil. That's it. The only fluids in this thing, and obviously gas. I already filled up the floats in here. I ran it with the ignition off to get the pump into here. So when I hit the accelerator pump, I got gas squirting, so I know my carb's full. Heck, I don't even have a throttle return on that yet. Hopefully it don't run away on me. I haven't even set the timing, none of it, just roughed in. We have flames. That's good. Flames are good. Means it's alive. I can't believe how fast that started. Well, I guess pretty close on the timing. Like, have a look here. That distributor is not tight at all. I'll take it. Radiator in it, cooling lines, and there's still lots of little things, but that's a major hurdle now. The engine runs and sounds pretty darn good. Considering they got open headers, but you know, whatever. one step closer to getting this thing back together and out of here. We got lots of little things to button up. That's all headlight wiring, but that's just an example of what we got to get done. Anyways, it's a rather daunting list of little things. Anyway, we got lots of work to do, but that's it for this one. We'll catch you on the next one.